Okay, our top story, disgraced members Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo are no-shows. Craig Figueroa says that didn't keep the LA City Council from selecting a new leader.
We just need to be committed to more kindness to one another.
Second District Los Angeles City Council member Paul Corey is now the LA City Council president. Makes unanimous.
As long as I am given the privilege of serving in this office as your president, the presidency will be it will be a presidency that relies on a leadership team of diverse abilities and diverse experiences and diverse backgrounds and diverse viewpoints.
Speaking for the first time as the LA City Council president, Paul Corey said future city council meetings will happen as scheduled, and he demanded resignations from Gil Cedillo and Kevin De Leon. At LA City Hall, Craig Figueroa, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Despite all the drama in San Paul, we haven't heard much from LA Mayor Eric Garcetti. He tells KNX he told Doreen Martinez, Kevin De Leon, and Gil Cedillo privately after the leaked recording with racist remarks came out. But that's not what he initially said. Marshall spoke with him in an interview for the first one.
Well, the initial effects of the scandal like that, this is kind of exposed in the city hall. It's probably going to be burning for a while. And probably next mayor in Los Angeles, this will be a mess that the next mayor's probably deal with. Can you offer any advice to the incoming leader of the city and what they should look out for about this?
You are going the wrong way down the
my
street.
advice, Rob, has been very simple from the step aside for the good of the city. Second, we need to stabilize the council, the institution, and the business of LA. And remember, in the midst of what seemed like a very long week and felt like a very traumatic week to many of us who felt so offended by these words and indeed actions, the city helped a girl with her after-school homework at a library. Was able to get a basic income check to help somebody out of poverty. Graduated a class of high school students from our Central High School. The city's work continues, and the city workers need to see that there's accountability at the top. So the second piece is to make sure that the city council is stabilized. And today's election of Paul Corey is an extremely positive step, and what I think will be the election of a president pro tem and current Price next week. The third thing, though, is to get embedded and to engage the people of LA. In those structural reforms we need to see. I've said for a long time that the city council should be larger. I've always been in favor of an independent commission for redistricting, but I also think there's two or three other things. How committees are assigned to the city council. Maybe rotating who chairs the Planning and Land Use Committee, an immensely powerful position that developers have to curry favor with. Maybe nobody should have that semi-permanently. It should rotate around. There's a lot of good ideas that I've heard from constituents. I think it's the time for Los Angeles to consider charter reform. And I've spoken to candidates who are running for mayor right now about starting that process for them, handing that baton to them, and making sure they'll swiftly, but also thoughtfully, in making sure, as we did 20 years ago, we improve our city government, restore faith, and get back to the business of improving people's lives.
And one final question on door, so to speak. Do you plan to do any public appearances, speaking to the citizens of LA about ways to maybe heal this divide that exampled it to us in the statements that were made on that tape?
Absolutely. I've done probably a half dozen of those speeches just in the past week alone. I don't think there's a week that's gone by, even without these tapes, where I haven't talked about those needs. Anybody who thinks that one person is going to come in, whether it's a new mayor, a new council member for your district, and solve the problems of LA, we live in a democracy and we have to engage each other. It's not about I, it's about we. It's about making sure that we can come together to house more people, finish out the infrastructure that we're doing, prepare for the Olympics, save this planet, deal with the drought. These are things that Los Angeles is unstoppable if we are all together. But if we assume that it's just a few that will do this, if we have contempt for government, as Daniel Patrick Moynihan once said, we will get contemptible government. But if we all engage and co-own this together, I think LA is unstoppable and there are great days ahead.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for your time.
He's on his way to Argentina for the C40 Mayors Summit. That means the new president of the LA City Council, Paul Corey, is the acting mayor until Garcetti returns. Transcript of the deposition given by the former chair of USC's governing board, Rick Caruso, the college's George Tyndall hasn't produced many more details about the investigation into the allegations. LA Times reviewed the transcript and says Caruso didn't give too many answers on the advice of the university's legal team when he was deposed back in 2020. Caruso took over as chair of USC's board not long after revelations about Tyndall became public. 12:35, time to check traffic with you. We'll do that with Tanya Campos.
We've got a crash now being reported. This is on the 101 heading northbound, and this is in Woodland Hills. So we've got right about Ventura Boulevard. A vehicle went over the side of the freeway, possibly into that embankment or onto Surface Street. So that vehicle is overturned. Looks like it was traveling at a high rate of speed, hit the center divider and bounced off over to the right shoulder. So expect to see some emergency crews and also any moment now. Again, that's 101 heading northbound, or this is westbound, right past Topanga Canyon Boulevard. We've got some slowing, a little bit of it in Sherman Oaks. North 405 connector to the North 101 is currently shut down. Got a little bit of slowing in the town area. The westbound 10 connector to the southbound 110 is currently closed. We've also on the 91 east of Bellflower Boulevard in Bellflower. There was an earlier big rig crash that damaged some guardrail. It looks like they're requiring a SIG alert until 7 a.m. Eastbound 91 from Lakewood to Bellflower. They're going to close the right 3 lanes, the Clark on-ramp, and the Bellflower off-ramp. So that's going to be some hours to get that guardrail fixed. Next report at 12:45 from the Irvine Auto Center, 24-hour traffic center.
And we'll check the weather picture for you. We are looking at a pretty nice day. If you like the heat, we're going to be back up there. Not quite into what we were about a month ago, but it's going to be warm. In the 90s in the inland valleys, 80s and 90s in the basin, 80s at the beaches. We're talking the upper 80s at the beaches, so it'll be pretty warm. Currently, El Monte is 69 degrees. 65 in Arcadia, 73 in Chatsworth, and now 78 in the city of Orange at 12:37.
Tom Brown here. Business owners, are you being told your company doesn't qualify for the employee retention credit? For months, I was told the same thing. Even my CPA told me that I didn't qualify, but I did, and the money's significant and doesn't need to be repaid. New guidelines allow for up to $26,000 per employee without showing a tax loss, even if you received a PPP loan. All types of businesses can apply, and the qualification process is free, but the window to apply is going to expire. So please call me, Tom Brown, right away, and my ERC experts run the numbers. Call 844-949-2424. That's 844-949-2424. I'm Tom Brown, a proud Navy veteran. 844-949-2424. Call 844-949-2424.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
Hello, Tim Smith, inviting you to visit Bob Smith BMW in Calabasas and see for yourself what the ultimate buying experience is all about. Whether you lease or buy at Bob Smith, the experience is always designed to get you what you want. We're online at bobsmithbmw.com.
12:39 at KNX News at 97.1 FM. A split verdict in the Kristen Smart murder case.
Every day, not a single day goes by that you aren't missed, remembered, loved, and celebrated.
After 26 years standing next to a photo of their daughter, Kristen Smart's parents described what today's verdict meant to them.
Without Kristen, there is no joy or happiness in this verdict.
On Tuesday, Paul Flores, the man accused of killing Smart back in 1996, while both were students at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, was found guilty of first-degree murder. His father, Ruben Flores, who was charged as an accessory to the crime, was found not guilty. He spoke outside the courthouse immediately following the verdict.
I was just hoping, I was not guilty, but it's just tough. But like I said before, I feel sorry for them because they didn't get no answers. With today's split verdicts, We learned that our quest for justice for Kristen will continue.
But according to defense attorney Steve Meister, a split verdict may help the Smart family in the future.
If this were just a biased jury that behaved improperly and just